Ladies and gentlemen, let me bring to your attention a report on the topic Linguistic Methods in Social Media Marketing, prepared by Olena Yurchenko, Nataliia Ugolnikova, Assistant Professors of the National Technical University, Kharkiv Polytechnic Institute. The main objective of our article is both scientific and methodological. As a result of this study, we intend to identify and pick up the tips and techniques, which on one hand may be the point of future scientific linguistic research, and on the other hand, should be studied by the applied linguistics specialty student, providing them with additional employment opportunities. Let's take it for granted that the most important transformation of our time is taking place, and it is the transition from offline to online mode. The necessity to carry on one's activity remotely, and in particular online, has intensified the interest of many entrepreneurs in the means of promotion via social networks. However, as practice has shown, many employers have encountered certain difficulties in organizing their business processes online. This is usually caused, on one hand, by a lack of understanding of the methods and tools for such work, and on the other hand, by insufficient number of specialists in this field who are ready to set up the required business processes at once. Our study is based on a real project that is the creation of an online healthy lifestyle club, the purpose of which is to attract unfamiliar audience through social network, in our case, Facebook, where people are positioned as so-called friends, real or virtual acquaintances, who do not expect anything to be sold to them. You can see the objectives of the advertising campaign for this project at the slide. We should point out that all the stated objectives could be effectively treated in 2017 up to 2019, and they still can be reached by social media marketing tools of the Facebook platform. However, we have to note that at present, Facebook is carrying out a serious reorganization of its platform, which affects the rules of working with advertising and Facebook Messenger, thus influencing the efficiency of communication with the selected target audience. This makes an entrepreneur and an SMM specialist to search for and develop new communication tools, such as those listed at the slide, like new messengers, automatization of communication processes, and new social networks. In our study, we were particularly interested in identifying, describing, and adopting those linguistic methods which can be used by representatives of small and medium-sized businesses independently or with the help of SMM specialists, namely, 1. Methods of identifying and describing target audience in one's competitive niche. 2. Compiling special text of advertising messages. 3. Marketing algorithms and artificial intelligence methods. We point out that the applied linguistics specialty students may and should face the task of mastering these methods in practice, as well as trying to automatize still unresolved issues. Let's consider different stages of promoting a real project via social networks that depend on language means and thus can be further improved or even automatized with the use of certain linguistic methods. At the stage of promoting goods or services through AD managers of social network, it is very important to correlate the keywords identified as a result of the analysis of the target audience's requests with the requirements and rules for conducting advertising activities. Today, we still do not have any developed service that can help you pick up necessary keywords that can be used in advertising texts in social media marketing. However, choosing such keywords for certain business spheres and automatizing the process can become complex practical tasks for master's theses of the applied linguistics specialty students. We should point out, for example, that the targeted advertising service of Facebook and Instagram blocks the advertisements in the topic weight loss, which contain the selected most popular keywords in accordance with its customer loyalty policy. However, this blocking can be bypassed using other keywords in advertising texts. At the same time, an important task which still requires automatization is to analyze the effectiveness of advertisements by keywords. Hashtag is one or several keywords of a message beginning with a hash mark. Hashtags are used in advertising campaigns as a reference to an emerging internet trend or as an attempt to create such a trend. Nowadays, the process of finding possible members of one's target audience by means of analyzing hashtag keywords has not yet been automatized, and that provides an opportunity for further development and improvement of these search methods. Another wide field for further linguistic research is the correspondence of a hashtag spelling with its actual meaning, because more sophisticated spelling can, on one hand, make a hashtag more recognizable, but on the other hand, more difficult to find if you don't know the exact spelling. The scientific detailed version of a sales funnel can be different for each type of business depending on the problems to be solved. However, there are the following tasks solved with the help of such model: identifying weak points, increasing and maintaining involvement, profit growth. The sales funnel algorithm of our project is presented at the slide. Recently, most attention has been paid to the possibility of automatizing these processes, which requires, on one hand, presence of trained specialists, and on the other, development of special services or mastering the available ones, both paid and free. The examples of such services are presented at the slide. They are Xmind, SmartSender, LiluEye, and others. However, the task of automatizing the selection of one's target audience still remains unsolved, which leaves field for further research in this area. Chatbots, which have recently become widespread in social networks and their messenger applications, are one of the systems implemented in the principles of artificial intelligence. These virtual interlocutors are often used in business to advise and provide information to clients. Like any other intelligent system, chatbots have a certain knowledge base, that is a database containing inference rules and information about human experience and knowledge in a corresponding field. The most common linguistic methods of choosing an answer when using question-answer chatbots are the following: 1. Reaction to keywords, 2. Phrase match, and 3. Context match. Oddly enough, but identification of word forms and recognition of synonyms are still a peculiar minor problem for such simple chatbots. In general, we have to admit that the processing of a natural language, especially its colloquial style, remains an acute problem of artificial intelligence still awaiting its solution. Our article transfers the process of social media marketing from traditional marketing studies to the sphere of linguistic research. The success and relevance of the existing internet courses indicate the need to develop similar courses and integrate them into the curriculum of university specialties, applied linguistics in particular, which should provide the graduates with additional employment opportunities. We can see that the available social media marketing platforms can implement in various forms an initial text written by a person, an entrepreneur himself, or SMM specialist. An adequate product description and studying platform rules will allow the specialist to create appropriate text to avoid possible mistakes. It also makes sense to analyze the rules that social media marketing platforms put forward in order to automatize the process of creating advertising texts, and it can become the perspective topic of future research. Having studied the process of creating a sales funnel and compiling advertisements in social network, we identified still unresolved applied linguistic problems each of which is a field for practical linguistic research and can become a topic for diploma and scientific work. Thank you for your attention.